In today's video, we're going to talk about the 8 foods that are fatal to rabbits. Pet rabbits eat up to 30 times per day, so they need a steady supply of food. Rabbits do not have the same dietary requirements as most other domesticated animals, so we need to be aware of what they can and can't eat. Above all, we need to know which foods are poisonous to rabbits. Rabbits should never be fed avocado, fruit pips, or rhubarb. Even small amounts of these foods can be fatal. Other foods such as muesli, dog or cat food, and nuts are not toxic to rabbits, but they can lead to illnesses and digestive problems, such as diarrhea if consumed regularly. Rabbits who are fed an appropriate diet are less likely to graze on unhealthy or toxic foods. That's why it's so important to feed your rabbit a species-appropriate diet and to moderate food types that lead to obesity. There are foods that rabbits should not eat, but only some of these will result in a fatality. Toxic foods are those that are most likely to result in the immediate death of a pet rabbit. In contrast, unhealthy foods will not cause a rabbit to die. Even so, they can lead to diarrhea, weight loss or gain, and other health issues. Avocados. Avocado is one of the most dangerous foods for rabbits. This is because it contains a toxic compound called persin. If a rabbit ingests too much persin, it will quickly develop breathing problems. This can lead to heart failure and eventual death in some cases. If a rabbit has just 1 to 2 bites of avocado, it may not have a severe reaction. However, you should still contact your vet for advice. Fruit pips and seeds. Although small amounts of apple flesh are okay, apple seeds are a no-no. Apple seeds contain a compound that is toxic to rabbits. So, if you serve up some apple as a treat, make sure that all of the pips have been removed. It's not just apple pips that are harmful, but apricot, peach, and plum pits, too. These contain trace amounts of cyanide. Rabbits should not be fed any fruit pips, seeds, or pets in case they experience an adverse reaction. Rhubarb. Rhubarb is an irritant that can cause severe reactions in rabbits. Also, it contains a high concentration of oxalates. These can interfere with calcium absorption. So, if you grow rhubarb in your yard, make sure your rabbit does not have access to any. Symptoms of rhubarb poisoning include a swollen or sore mouth, diarrhea, bloated or sore tummy, drinking lots of water, and lethargy. Although the symptoms can be severe, death due to rhubarb poisoning is quite rare when rabbits are taken to the vet promptly for treatment. Chocolate. Chocolate contains 2 types of methylxanthines that are very harmful. These are theobromine and caffeine. The higher the cocoa content, the higher the concentration of methylxanthines. So, if your rabbit were to eat a few squares of dark chocolate, this would be a medical emergency. Even white chocolate can cause a severe reaction in some rabbits. According to PDSA, symptoms of chocolate poisoning include diarrhea. Vomiting would usually apply, but rabbits cannot vomit, restlessness, squirming when you try and touch its stomach, trembling and panting, and a high temperature. Although most of us would not treat our rabbits with chocolate, most of us do leave packets of half-open chocolate lying about the house. This is risky when there are pets inside the home. So, always make sure that you get into the habit of shutting chocolate away. Allium vegetables. Allium-type vegetables can cause serious illnesses such as onions, garlic, shallots, and chives. The problem with these vegetables is that they can cause hemolytic anemia. This can cause dizziness, weakness, and eventual death if not treated. If that were not enough, allium-type vegetables can also cause anaphylactic shock in some rabbits. Iceberg lettuce. We quite literally refer to lettuce as rabbit food, so surely it can't be toxic for rabbits? Well, dark forms of lettuce are suitable for rabbits. However, iceberg lettuce is unhealthy because it contains a harmful chemical called lactucarium. Lactucarium is not usually harmful in small amounts, but a large portion of iceberg lettuce could cause diarrhea and physical weakness. Very young rabbits could even die from overeating iceberg lettuce. Potato leaves. Potatoes are not a good food source for rabbits because they are high in starch. This makes potatoes difficult to digest, but not poisonous. A small amount of potato may not do any harm to a rabbit. However, potato tops and leaves could be poisonous to a rabbit. Sugary processed foods. When you're enjoying a cookie or a piece of cake, you may be tempted to give your rabbit a bite, but you shouldn't. High-carb foods can trigger enterotoxemia in rabbits. This is a severe case of diarrhea that is often fatal. Enterotoxemia occurs when there is an overgrowth of Clostridium-type bacteria in the rabbit's cecum. These bacteria release a toxin that is fatal. It's thought that sugary, high-carb foods encourage the bacteria to multiply. While a single serving of sugary foods is unlikely to trigger enterotoxemia, it could happen in very young or weak rabbits. Rabbits that don't eat enough fiber are particularly susceptible. If your rabbit has eaten one of these foods, you should speak to your vet. Many of these foods can cause death in a matter of hours. Foods like iceberg lettuce and cookies are less likely to be fatal to healthy, adult rabbits. Your vet can advise if any treatment is required. At times, rabbits eat something toxic without us realizing it. We may only come to realize when our rabbit falls sick. Concerning symptoms include diarrhea or vomiting, glazed over eyes, weakness, drinking much more than usual, and restlessness. Foods rabbits should avoid eating. Some foods are not toxic to rabbits but should nonetheless be avoided. These foods are unhealthy and can cause disease over time. To be specific, these foods are difficult to digest and are usually very high in calories. This means they can cause stomach pain and obesity. Muesli. Remember that we said sugary, high-carb foods are bad for rabbits? Well, muesli falls into this category. Muesli-based rabbit feed was once a popular pet food, but we now know that it's unhealthy. This is because a high-carb and a high-sugar diet can lead to dental disease, diarrhea and gastrointestinal problems, weight gain, and enterotoxemia, in the most severe cases. In theory, muesli should be healthy because it contains high-fiber pellets. Nuts. Most rabbits love the taste of nuts, but they are not a good food choice. They should only be fed to a rabbit in moderation. Nuts are very high in fat, which is a problem because rabbits need a relatively low-fat diet to thrive. The high-fat content may cause digestive issues and bowel problems. Also, nuts are a choking hazard. Cat or dog food. In multi-pet households, it's quite common for animals to share, or steal, each other's food. And in some cases, rabbits do develop a taste for dog and cat food. But is it safe for rabbits to eat dog and cat food? While this food is not toxic, you should not encourage this behavior. These foods are high in calories, so eating them will probably cause weight gain. Most dog or cat foods contain animal protein. Rabbits are herbivores, so they lack the necessary enzymes to digest meat. Added to this, these foods contain amino acids, vitamins, and minerals that may be unnecessary. Rabbits should be fed a low calcium diet because high levels of calcium can lead to kidney stones and urinary tract infections. Cat and dog foods contain added calcium, so this is not recommended for rabbits. Cauliflower. Given that rabbits are herbivorous, you might assume that it's okay to give them any vegetables. Unfortunately, this is not the case. Rabbits can eat different vegetables, but cauliflower is not one of them. Whether it is raw or cooked, cauliflower can cause severe bloating in rabbits. Parsnips. Although parsnips are acceptable in small amounts, they are not a recommended food for rabbits. Parsnips contain a lot of starch, so they may be difficult to digest. Added to which, they are relatively high in calories, so eating them regularly will result in weight gain. Raisins. Raisins are very high in sugar, so they will be difficult to digest. Raisins can also obstruct the exit of the stomach if they become lodged there. Rabbits quickly develop a taste for raisins, so you might feel like you're denying your rabbit its favorite treat. However, there are plenty of healthier ways to treat your rabbit. If you enjoyed this video, kindly press the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe with notifications on, so that you don't miss out on videos like this. Thank you for watching.